Have you ever wondered about those unseen threads that connect us, sometimes across huge distances, decades even? Or maybe thought about the profound power a single moment, just one intention can have to change everything? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into an absolutely remarkable personal story. It's a journey of love, family, and honestly, an astonishing spiritual awakening. Feels like something straight out of a novel. Yeah, we're going to unpack this incredible account from one of our listeners. It spans continents, lifetimes, and it comes with this really fascinating spiritual analysis. Our mission today is to pull out those powerful nuggets of knowledge, those real aha moments, about destiny, what family truly means, and how our choices, like right up to our very last breath, can profoundly shape what comes next.
It's truly compelling, isn't it, how this story weaves together such a deeply personal narrative with these, well, timeless spiritual principles. We'll get into questions about attachment, the real impact of merit, and what it actually means to prepare for that ultimate transition in life. Lessons that I think apply to all of us.
Okay, let's unpack this journey then. So picture this. It's 1977. You're a 21-year-old Thai woman, really driven by this passion to care for people. And you find yourself in Sweden planning to study nursing. But there's a catch, right?
Right, a bureaucratic hurdle. To pursue her dream there, she needed to be a Swedish citizen. And the options were, well, adoption or marriage. Marriage wasn't really on her mind at that point, so she looked into adoption.
And this unexpected path leads her to a whole new family. She's embraced as the youngest daughter by this kind Swedish couple.
Exactly, a really loving adoption. Just suddenly she has two families, her birth family back in Thailand, and now this adoptive family in Sweden. Apparently, her Swedish parents grew to love her so much, they often said they wished they'd had a daughter just like her.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. She's living with this new Swedish family, sharing the home with their two biological sons.
Yeah.
And the youngest son, who's her age, well, he quickly developed some pretty strong feelings for her.
But she wasn't interested. Not at all.
No, she remembers him drinking and smoking, habits she really didn't like, and he just wasn't her type.
She even found his constant confessions of love a little bit annoying, actually.
Right, so despite his unwavering affection, she goes back to Thailand after about 18 months. She marries a Thai man, has two daughters. Life moves on, seemingly.
But the Swedish son's feelings didn't just disappear. He kept sending messages through his mother, always with that same phrase, only you.
Even when his mother tried to explain, she's married now, she has children.
He just wasn't fazed. And then, get this, in 1988, he actually travels all the way to Thailand.
Wow.
Sees her with her husband, her two daughters, and he accepts her decision. Okay, they'll just be friends. Offers his help if she ever needs it. He even used this analogy, like their paths were like train tracks, never going to converge.
He flew all that way just to confirm that for himself.
Seems so, and then he just went back to Sweden.
His persistence is something else.
It really is, isn't it? And it makes you wonder, are some connections just, well, meant to be? Woven across time, even when they're rejected at first. And as we touched on, that only you thing, it's more than just persistence. It's a deep karmic thread. We'll see later how it ties back to past lives where he really was her devoted husband.
Okay, so life unfolds. Our listener faces challenges, including a divorce from her Thai husband in 1993. She's raising her two daughters on her own. And for 10 years, her focus is completely on work and family.
A really demanding time, I imagine.
Definitely. Then, fast forward to 2003. A whole decade later, she's now 47, pursuing her PhD over in England. And then, this completely unexpected moment. She reconnects with that same Swedish son online.
Just like out of the blue.
Pretty much. A message just pops up while she's working. They chat back and forth a bit, and then she realizes who it is. He's teasing her, about still studying at her age, asking when she'll ever stop.
And she jokes back.
She jokes back, probably when you marry me.
Oh, wow.
And his response, just a simple, okay?
Just, oh.
Yeah. She absolutely thought it was just a lighthearted comment. Yeah, just getting around online.
But destiny maybe had other ideas.
It really seems like it. Because on December 16th, 2003, she's thinking about her Swedish father, decides to visit him. The moment the son sees her again, in person, he feels this instant click, like being struck by lightning, he said. Or Cupid's arrow. His heart just zinned.
An immediate connection after all those years.
Incredible. And just 8 days later, 8 days, he's 48 now, he proposes to her. And he uses that exact same phrase from 27 years before. Only you.
Wow, just wow.
They got married in February 2004. So much for those parallel train tracks, right?
Right. It's an amazing turn of events, and it really makes you think about these enduring bonds, and like we mentioned, that only you characteristic. It's not just a personality quirk. The spiritual analysis confirms it. It's from these past lives where he was incredibly devoted to her. But what's really striking this time around is how their roles are, well, delightfully flipped. In previous kalpas, these vast epochs of time, back when there weren't Buddhist teachings around them, she was the Swedish parents' actual daughter, and he was her husband, their son-in-law.
Seriously.
Yes. And now, in this life, he's the son, and she's the daughter-in-law. It just highlights how these deep connections can persist and, evolve across lifetimes. The underlying affection is still there, even after initial rejections or just so much time passing.
That's fascinating. So, with her new marriage, she starts commuting between England and Sweden, and she dedicates herself to caring for her Swedish adoptive father, who's now ailing. He's in his 80s.
A kind man, generally.
Yes. Described as kind, good-hearted, a Christian man who loved helping people, often witty, clever in conversation. But he also had this serious struggle with alcohol addiction for about 20 years. Which sadly made him easily angered, very moody, difficult to be around when he was drunk. Couldn't go a day without it, apparently.
That must have been hard.
Yeah. So August 2004, about 6 months after their marriage, our listener has to go back to Thailand for a few months for scholarship stuff. Her husband stays in Sweden for his business. They meet up every few months. But then, in November 2004, her husband calls with just devastating news.
The cancer diagnosis.
Yes, terminal pancreatic cancer. And by February 2005, his condition gets much worse. Her husband calls again, says, he's not doing well. You need to come say goodbye.
Heartbreaking.
She pleads with her father over the phone. Father, you can't go yet. Wait for me. Please, I need to give you one last hug.
And he managed to respond?
He struggled, but he managed to say he would wait. So she flies to Sweden, arrives February 12th, and here's a really heartwarming turn. Her father, who is really failing, he seems to rally when she arrives.
Just seeing her made a difference.
It seems so. He even asked if he was dreaming, if he was really seeing her. Opened both eyes wide to check. For a few days, he actually looked better. His face even got some color back, like he was recovering.
Wow. The power of connection.
Then, February 15th, 2005. He only has about 3 days left. Our listener wants to offer him something profound. She brings a Buddhist book to his bedside, opens it to show him some images, specifically images of Buddhist merit-making.
Okay.
A 1,000-year crystal pillar and a golden Buddha image. She tells him her name is on the crystal pillar, hoping, he'd feel some joy in her good deed.
Even though he was a lifelong Christian.
Right. She wasn't sure how much he'd understand, being a devout Christian for 82 years. Then she shows him the picture of the golden Buddha image. And then this truly striking moment happens. This man, Christian his whole life, 82 years, he suddenly asks, can I build this Buddha image?
He asked that out of the blue.
Yes. She was stunned. She hadn't even suggested it. She quickly says, yes, of course you can, tells him his name would be inscribed at the base. They immediately arrange the donation. They even have to call her sister in the U.S. to help facilitate it because there wasn't a temple center right there in Sweden to make the offering.
They made it happen that quickly.
Instantly transfer the payment. Just imagine that moment. An 82-year-old devout Christian asking that specific question. It speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does. And this moment, it just perfectly highlights the immense power of intention, pure intention, and also the role of a Kalyana Mitra, a spiritual friend, a good guide, especially in someone's final moments. Despite his lifelong faith, despite the struggles with alcoholism, his pure, strong intention to create that Buddha image, even without, physically handing an offering to a monk, that gave him the full merit. It really underscores that a sincere, strong intention, even formed right at the end of life, can be incredibly potent, complete in itself.
And for his last 3 days, his thoughts were just constantly on that Buddha image he created.
Yeah.
On the temple.
Focused entirely on that merit.
Yes, he'd constantly mutter things like, I miss the Buddha image I created. I miss the temple. And his very last verbal will, what he told everyone, truly remarkable. He said, don't bring flowers to my funeral. Donate the money to build more Buddha images. He wasn't afraid of death anymore. He wanted everyone to know flowers couldn't help him, but the merit from building those images could.
Wow. If we look at this through the lens of spiritual principles, that single powerful act of merit, done with such strong, clear intention right before passing, that became his saving grace.
It outweighed the negative karma.
Effectively, yes. It outweighed the negative karmic effects from those 20 years of alcoholism and smoking. You see, in Buddhist teachings, the mind state right at the moment of death is incredibly powerful, incredibly critical.
Okay.
His pure, strong focus on creating the Buddha image cultivated such a bright, positive state of mind. It
Right.
literally overrode the habitual negative patterns from the addiction. It redirected his path at that crucial juncture. If he hadn't made that merit, well, he would likely have faced a very different, much more difficult journey afterwards, depending on whatever state his mind was in at that final moment.
And how did he even meet her, his spiritual guide?
Well, that connects back too. His previous good deeds, maybe scattered across many lives where he perhaps encouraged others to do good, those created the conditions for him to meet our listener in this life. She became that crucial spiritual friend right when he needed it most.
So the father passes away peacefully on February 18th, 2005. It sounds like he deteriorated physically, vomiting blood. But in his final moments, his eyes were fixed on our listener as she kept telling him, "Father, we will meet at the temple."
Holding on to that positive destination.
Exactly. Then, a week later, February 25th, our listener is supposed to fly back to Thailand. But something strange happens with her ticket. No matter how many times she checked it, she had the flight time fixed in her mind as 10 p.m.
Okay.
But when she gets to the airport, they tell her the flight actually left at 8 p.m. She missed it. Had to stay an extra night in Sweden.
That's odd.
And that very night, both she and her Swedish husband have these parallel dreams. Her husband dreams his father called him on the phone and they just had a normal conversation. Our listener dreams of her father, but he looks vibrant, healthy, strong, happy, totally free from the cancer, the distended belly, standing right in front of her.
So the big question is, were these just dreams or something more?
Right.
Well, the spiritual analysis suggests our listener's dream was actually a real visit from her father, a final farewell before he moved on. Her heart, being clear and pure, likely due to her own accumulated merit, allowed her to truly perceive him.
And the husband's dream.
That was likely due to his own strong mental preoccupation, his attachment to his father, what's known as nirvana, or mental hindrances. These clouded the mind, so it wasn't an actual visit in the same way.
Okay, that makes sense. And the missed flight.
The analysis suggests that was actually the father's doing, his way of ensuring he had that one last meaningful goodbye with his beloved daughter before he fully moved on.
Wow. So where did he go? What about his afterlife journey?
Well, initially, he lingered around the family for about 7 days. His mental strength and the merit weren't quite enough yet to go directly to the temple he was longing for. But once those 7 days were up, after saying goodbye in that dream, he saw a bright path. And he was reborn as a Gandharva angel, a type of celestial being in the Katumaharachika heaven. It's considered the lowest of the heavenly realms, but still heaven.
So a positive outcome.
Very positive outcome. He's apparently excited about his new life there and profoundly grateful to our listener for giving him that opportunity for such powerful, life-changing merit. He knows he's in a good place because of her, even if he doesn't grasp the alternative he avoided.
That's incredible. But what about the Swedish adoptive mother? She passed away earlier, right?
Yes, 4 years earlier, from emphysema.
Yeah.
And this provides a really sharp contrast. Despite being a kind, compassionate person in a worldly sense, and despite the deep love between her and the father, they apparently really loved each other, even shared the same bowl of oatmeal every morning. She was reborn as a lower-level Bhumadeva, an earth deity, and she's struggling.
Struggling how?
Because she made very little merit through Dana, through generosity during her life. So she lives in this rather difficult village of earth deities, often hungry, unable to even accept food offerings from other deities.
So their deep love for each other wasn't enough to keep them together after death.
Exactly. It highlights such a crucial point. Deep love and attachment, while beautiful in life, don't guarantee a shared destiny in the afterlife if the karma and the merit levels are vastly different. Her inherent goodness kept her from a lower realm, sure, but the lack of specific merit, especially generosity, limited her heavenly experience significantly.
That's a really powerful distinction. Love isn't enough without the merit to back it up, essentially. And you mentioned something about karmic patterns in the husband's family, too.
Yes, absolutely. These karmic threads run deep there as well. For generations, going back to his grandfather, there's been this unusual pattern. Exclusively male children and grandchildren in the family line.
Only boys. Why?
It stems from a strong collective intention or wish from past lives. Back in agricultural societies where they didn't have Buddhist teachings readily available, they wished for more male labor for the farm. Sons would bring daughters-in-law, meaning more hands to help with the work.
Practicality.
Exactly. But this powerful intention, repeated over generations, especially during times when they were doing charitable acts, sort of solidified this karmic outcome. It's a fascinating reminder of how collective intentions, even seemingly practical ones, can shape family destinies down the line, even in details like the gender balance in the family.
Okay, so looking at the bigger picture of their spiritual journeys together.
Right. The Swedish father and the husband, they had made some merit with the Buddhist community in past lives, but it was quite faint, due to the vast amount of time that had passed. So they really need to build more merit in this current life to strengthen those connections for the future.
And our listener.
She's accumulated significant merit. She acts almost like a spiritual supply line for good deeds within this family connection now.
So for her and her husband now, to keep their marriage strong, given this incredible backstory, what's the advice?
Well, the key really boils down to mutual support and love, ideally loving each other at the same time, and trying to avoid anger altogether.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. So if avoiding anger isn't always possible, then the advice is at least try to be angry at different times. Don't clash.
Okay.
This really applies the principles of Sanghavathu 4. These are often called the 4 bases of sympathy or unification. They are generosity, using kind words, engaging in helpful action, and impartiality or consistency. These virtues really foster deep, lasting connections in any relationship.
That's a very practical application of spiritual principles for them, especially with their unique journey, cross-cultural, second marriage, all of it.
Yes, and the guidance drawn from this whole deep dive isn't just for them, it's really for all of us. The best way to prepare for life's inevitable transition, it's to consistently make merit in all its forms: generosity, good conduct, meditation, while we're healthy and strong.
Don't wait until the last minute.
Exactly. And regularly recall those good deeds. Train the mind to do this until it's second nature. Keep the mind clear and bright, waiting until the end. Well, while it was possible in the father's amazing case, it's a really significant risk. The mind can easily become too clouded by pain, fear, or confusion.
Wow. What an absolutely incredible journey we've explored together. This deep dive into our listeners' life and the spiritual insights, it truly underscores some profound truths, doesn't it? We've seen the astonishing power of a last-minute spiritual intention, how these deep human connections can literally echo across lifetimes, and the very real, tangible impact our actions, our merit and our demerit have on our ultimate destinies.
What's truly fascinating, I think, is the clarity here. We can see so clearly how love and intention, when they're combined with meaningful action, like making merit, how that can literally rewrite someone's future, even for someone who lived their entire life outside that specific spiritual tradition.
Yeah.
It just highlights the universal nature of cause and effect, and that every good deed, no matter how small it seems, really does have its time to bear fruit.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Every choice, every little act of kindness, every moment you cultivate clear intention, it all holds weight. It all matters. So here's maybe a thought to carry with you from today's deep dive. What small, intentional act of kindness or maybe spiritual growth could you cultivate today, right now, knowing its potential echo, not just through your own life, but maybe even beyond?